Welcome to Good Intentions, Bad Decisions, Love Letters to My Younger Self. Today we have Naja Hall, life coach and journalist, and we are going to be talking about finding our tribe, healthy tribes, and friendships.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I want to get into it because this is a real sisterhood conversation.
Yeah.
And when I think about friendships, we are at an age that if I could go way, way back, my friendship circles would look completely different. Mm-hmm. And that's why I wanted to start off with this, because I think a lot of our life decisions start with our social circles.
Yeah. My mom always used to say association brings about assimilation. And so she embedded that in my head very early. Like, if you hang out with this group of girls that are doing these things, more than likely you'll start picking up patterns from these people. My mother and father were very strategic about placing me around individuals that set me on one trajectory. But then, you're a hard-headed kid. Mm-hmm. You're going to do what you want to do sometimes. And so, not saying I didn't veer off, but I think it's up to the parents, our parents, parents out there that are watching, to make sure their children are in circles of people that have a similar trajectory or that we can learn from,
mm-hmm. It's crazy because the reason I started this limited series, because I want to get the point straight across and I wanted to hit hard.
Yeah.
But I started this series because I did have that guidance from my parents. But it's weird. It just hit different when it's someone that's not your parent.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I'm like, what if younger me had this to give me that same lesson and guidance that my parents were trying to give me? And I was just like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear it.
Because we don't be listening.
We don't at all. We don't listen to our parents. But the one thing that resonates to me so much today is my grandmother telling me to watch certain people. And she would always say, stop calling everyone your friend.
Was she right about those people?
Oh, my goodness. She was so right. And this is why I said I wish that younger me, like, thank you, Grandma, I love you to death, but I wish younger me had a podcast or a series or a social media so that I could hear that message differently. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I'm grateful for this. A couple of years ago, we worked together.
Yes.
On something very dope and creative, and it resonated. Mm-hmm. It resonated a lot with women. It resonated with people in general.
It resonated with me.
It resonated with you. Me too.
Both of us.
Yes. So we worked together on a piece, a very special piece, and it was called the Marcia Complex. So as you know, I am a mental health professional, and just like mental health professionals historically, I came up with a theory.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, if Maslow and Freud,
they can have their laws and
right, so can I. Mm-hmm. So I came up with a theory, and I'm like, it's this thing where there's jealousy and there's envy, but there's something that meshes the two, and we could never really verbalize or put a title or word to it.
Yeah. Would you define jealousy and envy as being two different things or subcategories of one another?
I think it's subcategories of one another, but I actually feel like envy is a lot more dangerous than jealousy. Like, I could easily be like, oh, Naj, I'm jealous of you. You can wear any hair color and just look beautiful in it. And that'll be the end of, my jealousy.
Envy might be more insidious.
Right.
Like, there might be actual harm that could happen.
Right.
Okay.
I think with envy, I might tell you to wear a bright platinum wig because I'm mad how beautiful the cinnamon color looks on you. So I want you to look bad because I don't want you to wear that good color. I think that's the
girl that would see her homegirl drinking too much with a stranger at a bar and not say anything and not grab her to be like, hey, let's just stop.
Or leave her alone. That part. That's why it's dangerous. Envy is dangerous. So we worked on the Marcia Complex. And I titled it the Marcia Complex because for all you young girls out there and young women, I really want you to be able to identify, not just for someone else.
Well, you got to tell them who Marcia is, because a lot of people might not even know about.
So that part, I forget. We have generations.
Right. It's just, right.
So the Brady Bunch, if we all remember the Brady Bunch show.
We would watch reruns, because that was years ahead of us.
It was years ahead of us.
I feel like it came, I don't know when it came out, but we were
younger, and they were already older in the show. Yeah. So on the Brady Bunch, you had the sisters, and you had the blended family from the two parents.
I think the dad came with 3 sons, and the mom came with 3 daughters.
So
they were
a
blended family.
Or it was like 2 sons and a daughter, and 2 daughters and a son, something like that. And what I remember is that the 2 oldest daughters, there was like this all-around daughter. Marcia. And she was just good at everything. No matter what, she was very resilient. She was very popular. She was just, academically strong, socially strong. Like, she could do no wrong.
She was the golden child.
Very much the golden child. And then you had Jan, who was more in the shadow of Marcia. And she wanted to keep up. And, she was inspired, but at the same time, it made her feel a lot smaller than her sister.
Unseen and minimized and jealous.
Yeah. So she would always say on the show, Marcia. Yes. So, but the thing that and when I wrote the piece with you, what I pointed out, and we did it was, what was it?
I think we did a sit down.
We did a sit
chat
down
session, and you did the written piece.
Right. We chatted, and then we did the audio, and we did the written piece. And the thing I said about Jan was that it wasn't with harm. It wasn't intentional. Like, Jan didn't have malice behind her jealousy, but it was more so like, why her? Like, why her?
Why not me? Why
Right.
am I not seen? Why am I not centered? And Jan was the oldest. Marcia was the oldest,
Yes.
right? And then the middle child. So I think that comes into play as well. Then the middle child was the one that had the jealousy, and then the baby just got to be aloof because she ain't nobody.
She didn't really care about what was going on. But Jan had this like eagerness to compete with her sister and to keep up with her sister.
Invisible competition, because her big sister was not checking for her in that way.
Right.
But she was always looking up, and I felt like she was always looking like her big sister, her feet were just dangling over her, but not intentionally.
Right. And what was interesting is Marcia was so sweet and welcoming that she always tried to include Jan. Like, she just had a spirit of everybody can join, everybody can be great. It wasn't like only I can be great.
That made her sister resent her even more.
So I decided to explain to people what that mesh of jealousy and envy could look like in a friendship. And what I think is so important for girls and young women to pick up on this ahead of time. And this is how you curate your tribe, because although Jan meant no harm, sadly in today's society, we do have situations where people feel that way and they can't verbalize it, their emotions, and they will begin to attack you.
They will cost you your job, your life, your health, your livelihood,
your reputation.
Your reputation. I think that's a good place to start on how those relationships, I guess, they can cost you your reputation.
Absolutely. I feel like, I would ask you the question, have you ever felt like you had someone in your circle that was there to benefit from you? And unlike Jan, they weren't competing with you to keep up with, but instead they were competing with you to get you out of there.
Those parasocial relationships is kind of what we would define it as, right? Have I ever had anybody that I think when you're a person and you're existing in your own space at your own frequency, vibrating in your uniqueness, you don't really see those people that are trying to penetrate your space. Like, you don't really see them as competition, because people really be in a competition by themselves.
They do.
Like, they over here studying everything you do, usurping your relationships, DMing behind your back, and you don't notice it because you're vibrating in a certain space. I think people get jealous of of attention that you get that you don't even try for.
Yeah.
I think people, I've had a relationship, because I was always a C student. I never was a straight A student. Even in college, like I did the bare minimum. I don't even know how I graduated. Got a degree, a couple of degrees. I don't even know how. But academics was never really my thing. It's just something I felt like I had to do. And I remember I had this person in my friend group. She would go to the library and study and all of these things. And she made great grades. And one day she blew up on me. She was like, because I had this one class, the book in college, you have to pay for your books. It was like $400. And I was like, I ain't buying that. I'm just use my friend's books. And she was like, I'm not going to let you use my book because you always make B's and C's and I'm over here busting my butt and I'm not letting you do it. And why don't you study? And I was like, oh my God. Some people will really find themselves envious that certain things come easy to you. Not realize.
Because I was going to say, was she holding you accountable?
She was angry that I did not try as hard as her, but I wasn't in the same place because her grades were better than mine. But she's like, you're still skirting through and you're not putting forth the effort. But there's some things that I have to try really hard at. That's just something that it wasn't my priority. I didn't really care that much. So I have been in situations adjacent to people that are like, why does this come easy for you? Danny, why do you get the opportunities? Why do they call you? I got the degree. I got this. I have that. Why? Like,
Wow.
people will really do you like that.
Yeah.
And I prefer the more verbose people, the ones that'll tell you, as opposed to the ones that are
That
sitting
are
and watching and
hiding,
plotting.
right?
Yeah.
Right. And this, you see, this goes back into what I wrote about the Marcia complex, because it's kind of like, now this is where it's vindictive, because it's like, why you? Why you?
not me?
Exactly.
What is it
yeah.
about? Because you can be close to somebody and seeing them have all these accolades, and in the right relationships, I feel like our friendships should challenge us.